Good morning, Sarah. Today, we're going to explore the world of phrasal verbs. Are you ready for a little adventure?
Good morning, Mr. Davis. Yes, I'm excited. Phrasal verbs always confuse me a bit.
Well, today, we're going to clear up that confusion with some fun explanations. Let's start with break down. Imagine you're driving a car in a story and suddenly it stops working. The car breaks down. But break down can also mean when someone becomes very sad and starts to cry, or when we simplify a complex problem into smaller parts to understand it better.
Oh, I see. Like, my car broke down on the way to school, or he broke down in tears, and let's break down the problem into steps.
Exactly, Sarah. Now let's move on to call around. Picture yourself trying to find a unicorn for your birthday party. You might call around different magical creature shops to see if they have one. So, call around means to phone many different people or places to get information or find something.
Got it. So, if I'm looking for a book, I can call around different bookstores. That's fun.
Right on target. Next up, we have call off. Imagine you planned a picnic, but then it starts raining cats and dogs. You decide to cancel the picnic. In other words, you call off the picnic. Call off means to cancel something that has been planned.
Ah, so if there's a soccer match and it rains, they might call off the match. Makes sense.
Perfect understanding, Sarah. Lastly, we have calm down. Imagine a dragon who is very angry because someone stole his tacos. To prevent him from burning down the village, you tell him to calm down. So, calm down means to relax or become less angry or upset.
I'll remember that. If my little brother is upset, I can tell him to calm down. This is actually fun, Mr. Davis.
I'm glad you think so, Sarah. Phrasal verbs can be like little stories that help us remember their meanings. Great job today.
Thanks, Mr. Davis. I feel much more confident about phrasal verbs now. Can't wait for our next lesson.
You're welcome, Sarah. Keep up the enthusiasm and you'll master English in no time. See you next lesson. Hey there. How's it going?
Hi. Not so great, actually. My car broke down on the way to work this morning.
Oh no, that's terrible. Did you call for help?
Yeah, I did. I called a tow truck, and they're on their way. But it's going to take a while.
Bummer. Well, while you wait, why don't we grab a coffee? There's a cafe nearby.
Sure, that sounds like a good idea. I could use something to calm down.
So, what were you doing when your car broke down?
I was just driving to work when I heard a strange noise, and then the engine just stopped. I had to pull over.
That's rough. Have you called around to find out how much it'll cost to fix?
Not yet. I'm hoping it's just a small issue and won't cost too much.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Anyway, changing the topic a bit, did you catch the game last night?
No, I completely forgot. I was so busy with work and stuff.
Well, you didn't miss much. The team played well, but the game was called off due to heavy rain in the second half.
Oh, that's a shame. I was looking forward to watching it. They'll probably reschedule it, right?
Yeah, they will. Hopefully, it won't rain next time. By the way, I heard there's a movie night this weekend. Are you interested?
Absolutely. I could use a break from all the car troubles. What movie are they showing?
I'm not sure yet, but I'll call around and find out. I heard it's a comedy, so it should be a good time.
Great! I could use a good laugh. Thanks for letting me know.
No problem. And hey, once your car is fixed, we should plan a little road trip or something. It could be a fun way to make up for today's hassle.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. I hope my car doesn't break down again, though.
Don't worry, we'll make sure it's in top shape before hitting the road. And if anything happens, we'll just calm down and figure it out.
Haha, deal. Thanks for cheering me up.
Excellent job with the first set, Sarah. Ready to tackle a few more phrasal verbs?
Definitely, Mr. Davis. What's next?
Let's start with bring up. Imagine you're at a family dinner and you want to talk about going on a vacation to the moon. You decide to bring up the idea during dessert. So, bring up means to start talking about a subject.
Oh, like if I want to talk about getting a new pet, I can bring it up at dinner. That's a good one.
Exactly. Now let's revisit break down with a little twist. Remember, it can also mean explaining something complex in a simple way. Imagine you have a giant robot, but your friend doesn't know how it works. You break down the instructions so they can understand. It's all about making things easier to grasp.
I see. So breakdown has more than one use. That's really useful to know.
Indeed, it does. Now, on to call off, which we've discussed. But let's add a fun scenario. Imagine you've organized a space race, but there's an asteroid storm on the path. You'd have to call off the race for safety. Remember, it's all about canceling plans.
Got it. Safety first, so we call off the space race. That's an easy one to remember now.
Great. Lastly, we have come across. Imagine you're exploring a galaxy far, far away and stumble upon a planet made entirely of ice cream. You just came across a dessert lover's paradise. So, come across means to find something or meet someone by chance.
Wow, coming across an ice cream planet would be amazing. I understand. It's like finding something unexpectedly.
Perfect. You've got a fantastic grasp on these phrasal verbs, Sarah. It's all about picturing these little stories to remember their meanings.
These stories make it so much easier and fun, Mr. Davis. I can't wait to come across more phrasal verbs in our lessons.
And I can't wait to teach them. You're doing wonderfully, Sarah. Keep up the great work, and soon you'll be a phrasal verb expert.
Thanks, Mr. Davis. I'm looking forward to it. See you in our next adventure with words.
Absolutely, Sarah. See you next time for more English explorations.
Hi there. I was thinking about our upcoming camping trip. Do you remember where we stored the tent?
Oh, I think I brought it up to the attic last year. Let me check. Bad news. I can't find the tent. It must have gotten misplaced during the spring cleaning.
Oh no, that's a bummer. We can't go camping without a tent. What should we do now?
Well, we could try to call around and see if any friends have a spare tent we could borrow for the weekend.
Good idea. Maybe someone has one they're not using. Let's make some calls and see what we can come across.
Unfortunately, it looks like everyone we called is using their tents this weekend. Looks like our camping plans are breaking down.
Ugh, what a disappointment. I was really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. But don't worry, we can always plan another weekend in the future. Maybe we should call off the camping trip this time and find something else to do.
True. We could still have a nice weekend together. Any suggestions on what else we could do?
How about a day trip to the beach? We could pack a picnic, enjoy the sun, and relax by the ocean. It could be a great way to salvage our weekend plans.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. I'm glad you came up with an alternative. Let's go with the beach plan then.
Great. I'll start packing the picnic basket and you can bring up the sunscreen and beach towels. All right, Sarah, ready for another set of phrasal verbs?
Yes, Mr. Davis. What are we learning today?
We'll start with cut off. Imagine you're in a science fiction movie, and the hero needs to stop the villain. The hero decides to cut off the power supply to the villain's lair, effectively stopping them. So, cut off can mean to stop or interrupt the supply of something. It can also mean to stop someone from speaking by saying something yourself.
Oh, like if I'm talking too much and my friend interrupts me, they cut me off. Got it.
Precisely. Next, we have do away with. Imagine a planet where robots do all the work and the people decide they don't need to use money anymore. They do away with money, meaning they abolish it or get rid of it entirely.
So, if we do away with homework, it means we won't have any more homework ever again. That would be nice.
That's the spirit, though I'm sure we'll keep the homework for now to help us learn. Now, let's talk about drop off. Picture a future where flying cars are common. You're going to a friend's house and your mom drops you off in her flying car. Drop off means to take someone or something to a place and leave them there.
Like when my mom drops me off at school before she goes to work. I can picture the flying car part too.
Exactly. You're getting really good at this. Lastly, eat out. Imagine living on a space station with many restaurants. Instead of cooking at home, you decide to eat out, meaning you go to a restaurant to eat.
Eating out in space sounds amazing. I love going to restaurants, so that's an easy one to remember.
You've done an outstanding job today, Sarah. By picturing these scenarios, you're not only learning English but also expanding your imagination.
Thanks, Mr. Davis. These phrasal verbs are really starting to make sense now. I can't wait for our next lesson.
I'm glad to hear that, Sarah. Keep up the great work, and soon there'll be no phrasal verb too tricky for you to handle.
I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for making learning so much fun, Mr. Davis.
My pleasure, Sarah. Remember, learning is an adventure, and you're doing fantastically. See you next time for more exciting explorations in English.
Hey, I was thinking about dinner tonight. How about we do away with cooking and eat out instead?
That sounds like a plan. I'm tired after a long day at work and I could use a break from the kitchen. Any preferences on where you'd like to eat?
How about that new Italian restaurant that opened up downtown? I heard they have amazing pasta dishes.
Perfect. I'm in the mood for some good pasta. Let's drop off our bags at home and we can head there straight from work.
Before we dive into the menu, did you hear about the new traffic rules? They are planning to cut off the old shortcut near our neighborhood.
Really? That's surprising. I always use that route to avoid traffic. How are they planning to do away with it?
They say it's part of a city improvement project. They want to widen the road and make it safer, so they decided to cut off the shortcut to divert traffic to the main road.
Well, that's inconvenient. I'll have to find a new way to work. Maybe I'll drop off at the office early and avoid the rush.
Good idea. Anyway, let's not let traffic woes spoil our dinner. What are you thinking of ordering?
I'm tempted to try their lasagna. I heard it's the chef's specialty.
Sounds delicious. I might go for the spaghetti carbonara. Oh, and don't forget to ask if they have any dessert specials.
That was a fantastic meal. I'm so glad we decided to eat out tonight.
Me too. It was a nice break from our usual routine. By the way, do you mind if we drop off at the grocery store on the way home? We need a few things.
Sure, not a problem. We can quickly drop off and grab whatever we need before heading home.